Hot hoops are the story on this week's UB Basketball Insider. The men's team is red hot, and now they're home. Plus, they're getting some freshman contributions just in the nick of time. The UB women's team is coming off a huge win over the MAC's best team, and it's a milestone for the head coach. All of that on this week's UB Basketball Insider.
In 1.6 seconds, the shot finds the net.
He hit it, fading away.
3.2 seconds to finish the fast break. 1.1 seconds to elevate above the rim.
He goes up and he dunks with 5 seconds to go in the game.
Games are won in a matter of seconds. In these brief moments, champions rise.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to UB Basketball Insider, and we welcome in head coach of the very hot and playing very well UB men's basketball team, Nate Oats. We're going to talk a little bit about the outstanding road trip that you guys are just coming off of. We're going to talk a little bit about this sort of monumental point in the schedule for where you guys are at with the MAC, but we want to start by talking about today's game. Coming up at 3:30, Nate, you've got the Eastern Michigan Eagles coming in here. A little revenge probably on your mind from a loss to them a little earlier in the year. What's the scouting report on the Eagles here for today?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we played really bad there. We turned it over 23 times. We were out of sync. That was the last. We've won out 5 out of the last 6, and that was the one. That was before we got on this streak of 5 out of 6. So we played really bad there. They did a good job. Their guards they've got talent all over the floor. You got one of the best big men in the country as far as freshmen. He might be the best big man in our league with the kid inside, and then Ray Lee obviously is super hot right now, but we didn't do a good job guarding him off the dribble. We fouled him a lot. We made our bigs help, and bigs got in foul trouble, and we turned it over and gave them layups on the other end. So we got to do a way better job attacking their zone, and we've been working on it. We'll see if it does any good. It'd help if we shot it well and then turn it over, but we'll see what happens this afternoon.
Right, and you mentioned Raven Lee, who is coming off a 46-point game in their win against Miami earlier in the week. 46 points, tied for the most scored by any player in the country this year in the NCAA, and you know him better than anybody because you coached him in high school.
I told our guys before he might be the most talented guard in the league. I mean, his talent level is ridiculous. He's one of the most talented, if not the most talented kid I coached. He's been a little up and down. Even this year, he's a little up and down. I mean, I think he had a game he didn't score, and then he's got 46. But when he gets it rolling, I mean, there's not a whole lot you're going to do with him. He's long, he's athletic, he shoots it well, he makes great decisions putting it on the floor. If he gets in attack mode, he's hard to cover. So we got to do a really good job with him today, obviously.
All right, so that'll be a key for today's game. Again, part of a doubleheader with the women's team. They start at 1 against Ball State, and then Nate's men's team takes on Eastern Michigan at 3:30. You've won 3 in a row. You've won 5 of the last 6 games, and you're coming off this stretch that we've talked so much about, which was the first half of the MAC schedule, 6 of 9 on the road. But son of a gun, you won 4 of those 6 games on the road. So how does that set you up for this next stretch where you play 6 of your 9 here at home?
Yeah, you know what? Our student section's been unbelievable. True Blue last game here was outstanding. Hopefully they keep coming out. I think our guys feed off that energy. So, if we can hold court at home, we'll put ourselves in a great spot. Now, that's a lot easier said than done. We've already lost 1 at home. Akron's playing well, and they're a good team. But we got to try to win these home games now. Like, we put ourselves in a spot to where, if we just win the home games, we'll have the same records we did last year, where we got the NCAA tournament. So we got to try to win at home, get the crowd, and then see if we can't steal a few more on the road and see what we can do going out the last half of the season here.
Right. Well, you find yourself 6-3 in the MAC now. You're tied for second. The only team you trail in the MAC East are those Akron Zips that you had mentioned. Let's look back at a couple of the big road wins that came in the last week, particularly Tuesday night's win at Northern Illinois, 90-78. They had not lost at home all year long, and then all of a sudden you guys are lights out, jump out to a 17-1 lead. As a coach, you love when your guys are shooting well. You love looking at a 17-1 lead, but are you thinking, how do we keep this going, and are they going to make the comeback and the run back at us?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we were up, and the 1 point was off a technical free throw, so we really could have been up 17-zip, which is a little, it was great. We came out playing well. We got to stay under control. Our energy's been a lot better, so our guys got to play hard while still maintaining their composure. But yeah, it's not gonna keep holding the shutout on a good team like them. So, we had to weather a little bit of a comeback. They came back, cut it to 6 by the half, and then they cut it to 1 early in the second half. And I thought we showed a lot of composure once they cut it to 1. I think we went on an 11-0 run and broke it open, and then never got back to single digits once we got it back to double digits there. And so it was double digits the rest of the way. Whereas I think at Toledo, we did the same thing. We got up big early, let them come back, and then the whole second half, once we got up, we let them come back again. And then it was tight. Once we got up in the second half on Northern, so hopefully we're learning. We get, hopefully the next time we get up on a team, we just don't let them come back in the first half, if that would be the next progression
right.
from there.
It's a little bit simplistic to say it, but the overriding part of those 2 wins on the road was your guys came out and hit shots early, particularly threes. I know that's been a big part of when you guys win, you hit threes, and when you don't, you struggle a little bit. How do you keep that going, and how key is that for you to know where your team is at in the first 5 minutes of a game when you're hitting threes?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it certainly helps to make some shots, and we've been saying that about getting guys in the gym on their own, putting shots up. I think our guys have been better with it, and we've had some guys step up. And Blake was great early against Toledo. He had a matchup that kind of fit him with them putting their center on him. So, if we can keep making shots, it'd be great. But the one thing I think that we've been really good at since that Eastern game, other than the Western game, is our defensive intensity to start games, because I think our offense feeds off our defense. So if we can get some stops, get out in transition early, get some shots that way. So combined with playing really hard on defense and then making some threes, we've been able to blow some big leads open early. Now, we may not hit threes every night. Yeah, that may come and go, but our defensive intensity has to be there. And so maybe instead of being up 17-1, maybe you're in a dogfight, but at least you're in the game, with our defensive intensity, whereas our last loss at Western, we didn't play that hard. So I thought it showed our guys learned a lot. We were on the second game of a long road trip at Northern, where the last time we'd been on the second game of a long road trip was at Western, and we had no energy. This time they came out with a great start to the game. So we're learning. We're learning from our mistakes. Let's see if we can learn from our mistakes at Eastern and play a little better against them this time.
All right, that comes up later today as Nate's team starts a nice stretch of home games here, 3 in a row at home. Part of a doubleheader, 1 o'clock women against Ball State, 3:30 Nate's men's team against Eastern Michigan. Nate's going to join us later in the show. We're going to talk a little bit about his outstanding freshman, Nick Perkins. But when we come back on UB Basketball Insider, UB women's team is coming off one of their biggest wins of the year. We'll break it down with Felicia Leggett-Jack. That is next.
Buffalo sports fans, let's pack Alumni Arena on Friday night, February 12th for a nationally televised game. The Bulls are set to take on conference rival the Bobcats of Ohio. Come cheer on the Bulls as they continue to compete for another MAC title. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. For tickets and more information, call 877-UB-THERE or visit ubbulls.com.